Welcome in to episode number 57 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Caden Holmes, and Coleman Scott is on vacation right now. He's been rubbing it into me all week that he's on his way to the beach and I'm not, but that's cool because we got the one and only Morgan Bay joining the show today. Morgan, as you all probably know, was one of the members of the show that we picked our incredible theme song, which is going strong, Guts and Bourbon. But Morgan,
A
how are you doing?
classic.
How's Northern Kentucky?
I'm doing great, Caden. And Northern Kentucky is pretty much same old, except for, I don't honestly, the city of Cincinnati is starting to thrive a little. Our baseball team's doing really well. Bengals are doing really well. FCC's doing really well. So kind of a cool place to be around right now, sports wise.
Yeah, always your KSR always trying to give away those Reds tickets. So they're doing pretty well right now. I know a few years back they weren't doing too hot, but they came around the corner.
Yeah, they just pulled up a player named Ellie De La Cruz from the minor leagues. And ever since they pulled him up, I think they're on a 10 or 11 game win streak. So get to go to watch them tomorrow, actually. And
wow.
hopefully they can continue that win streak.
Speaking of programs turning around the corner, I'd like to hope our basketball team is headed in a positive direction because, as the description of this episode says, Antonio Reeves is supposedly back. He moved into his dorm, and from what everyone knows, he's coming back, even though he signed up for those Illinois State classes. But we'll get into that later. First off, as always, we can go over the national holidays. So, Morgan, today is National Kissing Day. I cannot
Oh,
say that I have partaken in that today, considering I am still single. But I guess that's a big one, depending if you have a significant other or not. What do you think?
yeah, that sounds like a pretty fun holiday. I'm not going to lie. My wife is not home currently, but yeah, to celebrate that later when she gets home.
That sounds like a plan to me. Um, it's National Onion Ring Day. I like onion. I feel like that was a holiday last week, but this might not be the most legit website on the internet. But National Onion Ring Day. I like onion rings. You like onion rings?
Oh, yeah, absolutely delicious.
So
Especially
what's
like
your favorite place to get onion rings?
that's a tough one. There's this place called Quaker Steak that's pretty close to where I live, and they deliver the onion rings on like an antenna that would go on like a car. They always had some pretty solid onion rings.
They deliver onion rings on a car antenna.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like a race car themed. It's called Quaker Steak and Lube, so like you're getting your car lubed up with some oil or whatever. So yeah, it's a car antenna sticks straight up. It's got a bunch of onion rings on it.
That's a neat idea. I never really thought about putting those two things together. So that's pretty
Yeah,
unique.
yeah, it's kind of wild.
Sorry, what was that?
It's kind of wild.
It's Positive Media Day. I don't think we celebrated that today as a nation. I don't think we ever celebrate that as a nation.
Yeah, that's kind of poor timing since they just found that submarine imploded.
I know that's terrible
Yeah.
timing, and
Yeah.
it makes me sick to even think about that. And I have definitely been praying about that search.
Oh yeah.
I hate to hear that they found the pieces of it, but I can't imagine what those families are going through.
I know.
I'll keep praying for them.
Absolutely.
And then finally, it's Be Kinder Day. I think we can all learn a little bit from that.
Yeah,
That
that's a
never hurts
positive
anything.
message.
But anyways, going back to the basketball stuff, Antonio Reeves is back, and we get a little more of an idea of what our roster is shaping up to be. We got 10 players now confirmed.
Mm-hmm. I think
Obviously,
that's right.
some of them are hurt, and we got Canada coming up.
Yeah.
So we don't really know who's going to be playing there, but it's good that we actually have a good shooter coming back. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was extremely worried. I'm still a little worried, We had 9 players leaving. I guess that's 8 now that Antonio's coming back. Bradshaw's hurt, apparently. So I think
that's
I
another
think
thing. Bradshaw's hurt, and I thought it was going to be 3 or 4 months, but now they're saying 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's kind of a curveball because you're right. They were saying like 4 to 6 months, not going to play the beginning of the season. I know a lot of us were kind of assuming we were gonna get the old Cal go around where he hadn't seen him, don't know the update, haven't talked to him, get that throughout the entire season, and he never plays a minute. But I don't know, they must have
Then
gave
goes to
him
the
some
NBA.
type of super formula.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this roster. I actually found this website that has like the projected roster on it. You can find anything on the internet, but
Oh yeah.
Good and bad, But so Justin Edwards, Antonio Reeves, Aaron Bradshaw, DJ Wagner, Robert Dillingham, Ghana Onyenzo, Reed Shepard, Jordan Burks, who we just added,
Mm-hmm.
Badu Thiero, which I think he'll be a pretty important piece. No one really talks about him coming back much, but I think he'll be a really important piece.
Yeah.
And then Joey Hart, who we just added.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what? I don't know. Out of those 10 players, like, what's your starting five? What's your bench? Who are you looking forward to seeing next year?
Yeah. Do you mind sending me that list real quick, and I'll check it out and see what I think the starting five is going to be. Obviously, I think Wagner, he'll be starting five.
Yeah, Wagner. I think Wagner and obviously Antonio Reeves, I think will start for sure. Cal always likes playing the returners.
Oh, for sure.
And then we need a point guard, so Rob Dillingham. I'd say maybe a 3-guard lineup. And since we don't have many big men, I mean, it might be small ball and half 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have to play some small ball, especially if Bradshaw may or may not be out. That's kind of a crucial key player.
But what's this game in Canada? What's that going to look like? Because if Bradshaw doesn't play, he's not going to play in Canada. Mm-hmm. That's already been confirmed. And we're supposed to get that Cyril guy, that 7-footer.
Yeah.
But who knows if that for sure is going to happen. So what's our lineup going to be in Canada? Who's our big man? Onyenzo. Onyenzo.
And Yenzo.
And then a bunch of guards?
I think that's probably what it's going to be. But honestly, I think it's probably going to be a situation that's similar to the Bahamas, where Cal's trying, or the assistant coaches maybe are trying a bunch of different lineups, seeing what sticks, and going with that.
Is there anyone like you're looking forward to in particular? Like any of the freshmen? Obviously, probably DJ Wagner. But
yeah, I think that's probably the person I'm looking forward to most. I mean, he's kind of bounced around, in the top 5, but for the longest time, he was projected at number 1, I believe.
We got Reed Shepard, the Kentucky boy. He's supposed to be pretty good. But we also got these 3 stars that just committed that I feel like no one knows anything about, including myself.
Honestly, I know nothing about them. They were, from what I've understood and read about the current state of the program, was they were scrambling hard after they found out these 9 players were leaving. So honestly, those 3 stars that they're adding in kind of feel like scramble picks. Because I mean, they didn't even have 10 scholarship players after everybody left. And so they're probably immediately like, we've got to get people at least on scholarship.
I mean, are they even gonna play this year? Or do you think we're getting them for like the future? Or
that's honestly a great question. I don't know. I think they'll play in Canada. I think it'll probably be in, because when they went to the Bahamas, everybody was playing.
Yeah, everyone gets equal minutes in Canada, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm looking through projected contributors and stats right now. I think maybe that's the same list. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Justin Edwards, Reeves, Bradshaw if he's healthy, Wagner.
It's an interesting website because they're projecting like their actual points per game and assists and rebounds and everything. So they're
Yeah,
saying that Reeves is going to be our leading scorer, which I can honestly see that happening.
I agree. He was super solid. He honestly really reminded me of Quickly and how he played.
Yep. He's got
Um,
that floater. He's starting to get that floater.
yeah, and that floater is deadly.
It
You don't
is.
know where they're going with it, and they just lob it up in there in the basket. I love that shot.
But
Um,
it says DJ Wagner projected 10 points a game. I think that's a little low.
yeah, I think so too. Did they give assists or anything? Assists. It looks like maybe him, Wagner, and Dillingham. APG, I'm assuming, is assists per game.
Yep.
So maybe they are going to be some of our projected point guards, just trying to run the ball, pass it to shooters like Reeves and Edwards. It looks like that's what they're projecting to be the two top scorers.
And a good thing about having Wagner and Dillingham run point, it's going to take a lot of pressure off of Reeves. Because
Yeah.
this past year, I feel like Reeves was our best point guard at times. And so
Yeah,
it's not even his job. So
no.
it'll be cool having him on the wing, actually putting up shots for the entire year. So
Yeah,
he'll
getting
be way
open.
more confident this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, last year it was like we didn't really have a defined point guard. It was whoever got the ball ran point at the time that they had the ball. And it was just honestly kind of chaotic. Obviously, there was no plays set up, and other coaches, that was some of their feedback that they were giving, that they are not running an offense at all. They don't have set up plays.
We talked about this on a last show. Do you see that whiteboard behind Cal that says plays get open?
Yeah.
It's a heck of a play right there.
Yeah.
I think I'd recommend that too.
Yeah. I think I could be a basketball coach if that's the mindset that we're taking into running plays.
Well, if we didn't get these players, you might have had to been a basketball player on the team, being as close as you are.
I think they could have pulled Coleman.
I've seen some of your moves. You're
Down
a vicious
there
defender.
Yeah, vicious defender. That's a good way of putting it.
So sticking with the basketball stuff, I think KSR posted this. ESPN did the article, but I think KSR posted this. Did you see that list of the top 25 college basketball players in the last 25 years?
No, but I'll pull that up real quick and I'll see if I agree with it.
Before you pull it up, I want to hear your guess. Like, let's just stick with like the top 10. Can you? I think there's one obvious, but can you just throw some guesses
top 10.
out there?
Okay. I mean, LeBron, obviously.
Well, that played in college. I think they're going by
that
college
played
careers,
in college, not just NBA.
Just anyone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he's number 2.
He's number 2.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns, got to be up there.
He's not in the top 10, and I'm not seeing him in the top 25, which I think he's getting ripped off for that.
Definitely ripped off. What about Devin Booker? What's he at?
Devin Booker's not on there. That's another one.
Not on there at all?
No.
That's insane. He carried
a lot of these guys are like in the early 2000s, late 90s. But there's one guy that's number 1 who played for Texas, and he's
okay.
Decent.
So yeah, that would be why am I dropping Kevin Durant?
Yep, Kevin Durant, number
1.
one.
Honestly, I can see that over Anthony Davis. I think I agree with that.
It's close, but I can see that. The one that I really don't understand is Zion Williamson, number 3.
That doesn't.
Are they always just trying to give Duke everything under the sun?
And that's kind of ridiculous, even going off of like the recent drama around him. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I heard about it, but you'll have to remind me.
Basically, I don't know if he hasn't come out and said it, but he's trying to get off the Pelicans, and people think that he's kind of refusing to play so that the Pelicans trade him away. And one of his like,
oh, he learned that from our boy Shaden.
Yeah, exactly. He said, "I'll just sit this one out for a year, and maybe I'll get what I want."
It might work,
but his side chick actually tweeted and said, "I've got a sex tape of me and Zion, and if you don't release him, I'm going to release a sex tape."
Are you kidding me?
No, tweeted it.
Why would they care though? Like, why would the organization care? Like, they'd be like, okay, sure, release him.
Yeah, cool. Care. Yeah.
What? How is she? There's no weight to that. I feel like.
No, I mean she's obviously got a few brain cells missing, so she probably. I'm assuming she was acting on her own. I highly doubt Zion would have said, "Yeah, post that. That'll get him to trade me." So I'm looking.
I did not see that.
That's nuts. Hilarious. Him at number 3 is insane. I mean, what? He's only played like 75 games his entire career, right? Something crazy low. He graduated 4 or 5 years ago.
The only thing I remember about Zion at Duke is his shoe ripped.
Yeah,
that's all I can remember.
His shoe ripped, and they didn't win a championship. And in my opinion, he's one of the most overhyped college basketball players of all time.
Amen.
Yeah, like he goes to the NBA, he can't keep the weight off. I mean, that's why he's getting injured, is because he's just got that huge body, and when you're putting that much exertion on your body at that weight, you're just bound to get injured eventually.
I think everyone kind of predicted that, just seeing him in college. Like, yeah, he destroyed everyone in college, but the longevity of playing like that is not good. Kind of like, Derrick Rose, different body type, but the way Derrick Rose played, it's kind of similar. Just always in the air, dunking over people. And then he ended up injured. But yeah, they got a bunch of Duke guys in this. Jay Williams at number 4. He played in the 1999 to 2002.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Steph Curry at 5. Definitely a top 10 player.
Steph Curry should be 3. In my opinion.
I agree with that. I think definitely Steph. How do you put Zion above Steph? That is like honestly the most insane thing I've ever seen ever. Like Steph has won championships and Zion Williamson has played 75 games. There's no basis behind that.
Well, yeah, I think they're mainly looking at their college days, but even that.
Oh, that's right.
Steph carried Davidson to what? The Elite 8, Sweet 16. Davidson. Because he was hitting like 10 threes a game. Like, I don't.
Yeah. Okay, Steph, I see the title. I was confused. It's saying top 25 men's college basketball players in the past 20 years. I thought they were saying had to be like in the NBA or something like that.
No, just strictly college, but still, Zion at 3 is a joke. JJ Redick, he was a really good college player. I can't really argue that. I hate Duke with a passion, but Redick was a good college player. But Carmelo Anthony at number 8, see, I don't understand that.
Yeah. He's a legend. I understand why Devin Booker's not on this list now, because like Cal didn't play him when he was in college.
Someone that I thought of was De'Aaron Fox. I feel like he should be somewhere on the list. Cal did play him.
I agree with that. I think De'Aaron Fox could potentially be on the list. Maybe that might be kind of a stretch.
Our only other one is John Wall at 21.
I might have a bias towards this, but I mean, that man is the turnaround of Kentucky basketball. So
he's got to be higher than 21. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think
top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah, top 10.
But anyways, that's your fun fact at top 25 of the last 25. So we definitely don't agree with it because we're Kentucky fans and we hate Duke. Yeah. That's just how it is. But
they do have some solid players, but
it's ESPN, so I guess it makes sense. They've always loved Duke,
always.
Kansas. And, speaking of, I was going to get to this later, but speaking of everyone loving Duke and Kansas, North Carolina, but hating other schools, did you see all these probations that have been happening?
No, I haven't.
So Memphis is on a 3-year probation because of the James Wiseman recruiting stuff with Penny Hardaway. And then LSU football and basketball is on a 3-year probation or suspension or whatever.
Okay.
Morgan, my question is, why is it always schools like Memphis and LSU, but North Carolina and Duke and Kansas
Yeah.
and Arizona and UCLA? I guess UCLA has been pretty clean, but in general, like why are the bigger names like that allowed to get away with it other than Kentucky?
Because they need that revenue. That's my assumption. The NCAA has those giant schools that bring in all those advertisements, and if you nix them, their viewership's probably going to go down. So they're untouchable.
But why is
That's what
Kentucky
makes them.
touchable then? They hate John Calipari with a
They
passion.
do, but they've never they have in recent years. They've never suspended us.
I think about the times that we didn't make the tournament, like that NIT year with Cal, like the first time we didn't make the tournament with them, like we were on the bubble. Like I'm shocked that they didn't put us in just because of the revenue that would have been gained. So
yeah, I mean that's true. I think with March Madness, maybe it's a little bit different, because you still are getting most of the year of viewership. But like if you're at the beginning of the season and you're like suspension, not playing in the NCAA tournament, it's like, what are we here for? What are we even watching this for?
These like this Memphis thing, it's almost like they're just slapping Penny on the wrist because what I was reading, like they're not even suspended from the tournament. It didn't say that anywhere in the article.
It's What's the suspension then?
It's almost like the probation means this was bad. Don't do that again. Here's a $5,000 fine, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you have to give up your games that you won, which I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I don't feel like it's gonna. I don't understand that. I feel like to get the point across, you gotta not let them play in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're saying, it's probably a revenue thing.
It's got to be. NCAA money first. That's what they care about.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I feel like, yeah. Honestly, feel like ever since the NIL started, a lot of it's just been kind of slap on the wrist suspensions. I mean, do you know of any teams recently that have been totally suspended from the tournament?
I'm trying to think. Oklahoma State's the last one I can think of when they had Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you what they did though to get that.
Yeah,
and I couldn't believe he still went there.
Oh my gosh, it's a 3-game suspension for Memphis's Penny Hardaway for recruiting violations.
That's going to teach him.
You're right. That is a slap on the wrist. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I was reading that, Coach and I was like,
10-game suspension.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it basically said that, and they're going to put it in the record books as Penny did something bad. That was the extent of it.
He's probably celebrating. He's popping champagne bottles at that suspension.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. If they catch me again, I'll
the number one recruit out of this. So yeah. They don't do anything to me.
Yeah.
But
I don't coach for the first 3 games that don't matter at all. And I get the number one recruit. It's a win-win.
It's a good point. So before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines here. Morgan, every time Coleman leaves and leaves it to me to host, there's something that just goes wrong. Like one time it wasn't connected to the right mic, so my audio was bad. The other time the phone line wasn't working. People were calling in and I was just getting missed calls. So, we're going to break the cycle this time. And if we have anyone that calls in tonight, it's going to work. So we're going to do the whole speak into existence thing here. So our number is 502-234-1504. If you have any comments on how Duke sucks, even though the ESPN and the whole world loves them, or if you have comments about how Penny Hardaway just got slapped on the wrist and it should have been more, or if you have any comments about National Kissing Day, you can call in and tell us. Maybe don't go into too many details with that last one, but yeah, anyways, so speaking of stupid topics, I think I sent this to you. And I read that this happened last month, and I couldn't believe it. So topics like this, I always feel like we should share on the show because it's almost too
Hmm.
ridiculous, and you don't even like lose hope in humanity kind of things. So
Yeah.
the title is "The Guy Who Ate a $120,000 Banana in an Art Museum Says He Was Just Hungry."
Okay. Well,
So,
that
so what's
first
your
off, I've got
initial?
I've got a billion questions. Like one, what is $120,000 banana? You know, is it plated in gold?
Yeah,
Um,
I guess
two,
it came from like the Garden of Eden or something
yeah,
for that
yeah,
price. Uh,
exactly. This is a thousand. This is a 6,000-year-old banana from the Garden of Eden that we've plated in gold. That's what
it
it's got to
lasts
be
for
for me.
eternity, and
Yeah,
it tastes perfect. But if you eat it, you gain the knowledge of good and evil kind of thing,
yeah.
But yeah, this picture is just this banana duct tape to the wall. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
this is a legit picture. I think like
I
this was the painting. A
yeah,
banana was duct taped to the wall.
I have seen that because it was okay. So it was premiered at Art Basel in Miami.
Yep.
Um, which I don't know
Been
if you
there?
know what that is. I've not been there. I don't know if Spencer has, to be honest. But basically, it's just this art show that a crap ton of rich people go down there to, and so they have these absurd of art exhibits. So I mean, you know how modern day art goes. It's kind of off the wall, bizarro. So
Yep.
I'm not surprised to see a banana taped to the wall for $120,000. It's something like that.
The first thing it made me think of in high school, we went to the Museum of Art in New York City, and there were paintings there that I just couldn't believe, like stuff like this. Like I didn't see like fruit or vegetables on the wall, but I
Yeah.
did see there was a wall that literally just had these square paintings of just straight up like colors, like solid color paintings.
Hmm.
Like it went from like light blue, the next one had medium blue, like royal blue, the next one had like navy blue. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
there thinking like this this is what making it as an artist is today. Now maybe there's something I wasn't getting from all that. I'm sure there's some deeper
Yeah.
meaning. Maybe I needed to read the description or the story on that one, but I just I couldn't believe it. So when I see titles like this, I it doesn't really shock me anymore.
Honestly, I think we need to quit our jobs, buy some apples, and start taping them on the wall. And I mean, what? One banana is $120,000. We tape 10 apples on there. Millionaires. That's our
You know, we
that's our
did
path
build
to
some
success.
things, and we did build some things in college. So I think that would be easy compared to what we did in college.
Yeah, we we built a solid wood pong table. So I mean, surely we can become an artist with an apple.
Saying solid wood, saying solid in the same sentence with the pong table is stretching it a little bit, considering what happened when we tried to unfold it.
It was wood. I don't know if it was solid.
Now, if never mind, I'm not going to go there. Um, Speaking of college, I don't know if our viewers know, me and Morgan were roommates at UK, and we had a lot of awesome experiences. We had some times that were not the best, um, involving other aspects of our life. But Morgan, like, do you have any like memories, things worth sharing? Like, what were your favorite times at UK, or just in our apartment, or just anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because there's 1,000 of them. I mean, we lived together. Oh my gosh, can't talk. We lived together for 2 years, right?
Yep.
I think one of the top ones was when we were going to that Halloween party and we dressed up as Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan. And so we had this ridiculous outfit that was like an orange tank top, these flowy orange pants, and we got some like hair and spray painted it yellow and stuck it straight up. But we went to that gym at our apartment complex and got the pump going right before, so that
Yeah,
we
because they
looked,
had these cut off shirts. Yeah.
yeah, so that we would look a little muscular when we went to the party. And it was like,
We
it was
had to
like,
make up for the entire year of not working out with
yeah,
that one night.
exactly, yeah. And it was like 40 degrees. And we were
Oh, it
freezing.
was cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we got to the party and no one knew what we were. Like
but they
those
loved it.
college kids were not very cultured. Who doesn't know what a Super Saiyan is?
I know.
That was our childhood.
It was a key moment in our childhood. And they're like, well, I don't know what you are, but it's awesome.
Yeah, that was the best compliment of the night.
I know.
I
What
think
about you?
the thing that first pops in my mind is I'm just sitting there. It was when we were at the Lex. I'm just sitting there on the couch. Next thing I know, Morgan opens the door and he's carrying a punching bag into the apartment. You know, he joked about getting a punching bag the week before, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. But you did, and I'm glad you bought it because that was well needed, well used.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Put it right in the corner, and whenever you get frustrated, you just beat up on it for a little bit.
And it made us realize how often we were frustrated in some of those days.
Yeah. You think that stuff's so important when you're younger, and then you get older and you're like, that's nothing.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Way better things to way better things in life, like Talkin Kentucky, you know, and just everything else. So
we should have been talking about basketball.
Yeah.
That's
just
what
started the show back then. Why didn't we think of this back then?
Podcasts weren't really like a huge thing back then, you know. It was more of a niche thing that someone might listen to occasionally.
Yeah, until Joe Rogan made it popular.
Yeah, he really did.
We're getting there though.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys got what, over 1,000 followers on Facebook, right?
We're I think 1,300 at this point, but
that's a solid number.
Yeah, we'll get there. Give us another year or two.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, 502-234-1504. I think we've had like 30 straight shows where we've gotten a call, at least one call. So I hope we don't break the cycle this time. So give us a call, and really anything you want to talk about. I mean, you've heard some of these conversations we've already had. We're down for whatever. So, and we don't bite. We're decent guys, I think. So
yeah,
give us a call. But going back to some UK news, I guess I'm not the biggest football fan, as everyone on here knows, but Morgan knows a little bit about football. So I thought I'd bring up the fact that we got 2 recruits this past week, but I also saw we lost 1 recruit to Vandy. So Cody Peevler made a comment that Vandy's going to win the championship in the next year or two. So it looks like they're on their way. But Morgan, do you know anything about these recruits? Do you know anything about our 24 recruiting class? What are your thoughts on that?
I really don't know too much about the 24 class. It's always hard to keep up with the football recruits because the team's so big.
Like 1 or 2 every single week.
I know. The team is so big, and a lot of them are like 3 stars, freshmen coming in that'll need developed, and you won't even see them for 3 years. So it's hard to keep up with every one of those names. We can't even keep a player for half a season at the basketball team.
Oh, any.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep them, but they won't play. But,
I
know. So one of the guys is Tavani. I'm not going to pronounce these right. Tavani Mazzell, 3-star running back.
Okay.
And then 3-star DB Jaquavis Marshall.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, again, I think
DB's defensive back, right? I'm showing my football knowledge, but I think that's what that is.
I think you're right on that.
We have the wide receiver target, Dorian Williams, committed to Vanderbilt. So I never thought we'd lose a recruit to Vandy. When we lose a recruit to Vandy in basketball, that's the day we need to be worried.
Yeah. What is it? Who's at Vandy right now? Is it Penny Hardaway? Is that right?
No, that's Memphis.
No, that's Memphis. Yeah. What is it?
I can picture him.
Yeah.
Here.
He's pretty famous.
Clark Lee is the football coach. I didn't know that. Jerry Stackhouse. He played in NBA.
Jerry Stackhouse. That's right.
I get those two mixed up too, him and Penny.
I know. I guess going back to football, those are just going to be some. I don't know too much about the ins and outs of every player they recruit because they recruit so many. And but I mean, hopefully he's good. If he's 3-star freshman running back, then he's probably going to be more of a development over the next couple of years.
Which is a good thing with the football team. It looks like that's usually what we go for in general.
Yeah. Which Stoops has had a lot of success with that. He's really good at developing players. So, if that's what's working, I don't see why you'd change it up. But I mean, what I do know about the football program is apparently that's where all the sponsorship money's going to right now. And Stoops he's an absolute powerhouse when it comes to relationship building between his sponsors. And my mother-in-law actually works for UK hospital as a fundraiser. And so she's constantly working with Stoops, and she always is talking about how great he is and how involved he is with getting money flushed into the UK hospital for some of the children's hospital stuff that they're doing. That's the type of stuff you got to do, is go out into the community, mingle with everybody.
She didn't say anything about Coach Cal?
Never.
Doesn't help with the basketball team any?
Never. I've got it like behind me. I've got this picture up so you can't see it, but behind me I have a Stoops signed football, and she got that easy. It sounded like she was just kind of like went to his office and was like, "Hey, my son-in-law loves football. Would you get Stoops to sign this?" And he did. And she gave me that. Oh, well, having trouble talking. She gave that to me for Christmas, but I've never heard her talk about Calipari. And as far as I know, absolutely no relationship fundraising wise, which is super surprising because it seems like every fundraiser that she's doing, she's talking about how Stoops is somewhat involved.
You said, for some reason, when you said, "Hey, can you sign this?" it made me think about that time. I don't know if you were with us, but Connor, it was late at night at either Tally Ho or Qdoba. I can't remember, but the Harrisons walk in and Connor says, "Hey, come here." And then he walks over there and says, I like what you're doing for the university. That's what Connor told him. So.
Yeah, I've heard that story. I wasn't there that night. That might have been before my time, because I know the Harrisons' first year was the year before I showed up to college.
That's right. It was 2014, I think.
Yeah.
2013 to 14, if I remember correctly.
They played in 15, I think, as well.
It was my freshman year.
I think so.
Sense. Yeah. But yeah, supposedly, speaking of Cal's sponsorships and everything, supposedly he's starting some kind of collective. I don't think they want to call it that, but I mean, do you think that's going to help turn things around? I mean, we got the number one recruiting class this year, so it seems like the transfers are what we're missing out on.
We absolutely flopped in the transfer field. I don't think we really got anybody that we were shooting for. Definitely none of the top guys.
How do you get DJ Wagner, but you can't get the 5-star, 4 or 5-star transfers?
I have really no idea. I think some of these guys, they want to just be the star, and that's where they go. They go to a college where they know they can be the individual star, and that's going to get them the most NIL money. So I think the collective is a good stepping stone. I don't think it's enough, because I guess to put it in perspective, I don't understand why we aren't, maybe I don't know the ins and outs, but I don't understand why we aren't going to these top brands. I mean, we had the AT&T deal during March Madness. I don't know if you saw that when Jacob Toppin was in the AT&T commercial.
Yep, I saw that.
But I don't understand why we don't have regular deals with some of the top brands like that. I mean, Apple or Coca-Cola. You think with the amount of revenue that Kentucky is pulling in and the amount of viewership, it'd be a regular occurrence. So I think the stepping stone to the collective and getting these NBA players involved with some of these NIL deals is good, but you got to think that's a medium-sized pot, because the guys that are paying them are the ones with the big pots, the ones that can throw $10 million at a team and not even blink about it. So I think it's a good step, but I don't understand why they're not going for bigger fish and creating those relationships with some of the bigger fish that can shell out that money with no questions asked.
I do. Is anyone doing that though? Like they've got to be, right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's occasional Porsche deals, but I think from my understanding, that's more of like a Porsche dealership, not necessarily the entire Porsche brand. Um, but I mean, I guess none of them. Maybe the AT&T commercial is probably the biggest one that I know of. Um, but
I
you'd
don't remember
really
seeing Duke or North Carolina on any of
that
those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think these giant schools like Duke and Kansas and UCLA and Kentucky would have, a really close relationship of some sort with these bigger brands?
Well, Kansas has Snoop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the NIL has been weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think limiting the transfers was a really good step because the NBA or the NCAA was basically acting like a free agency every time the season ended. It was like everyone was up for a contract. Where are you going to go? So limiting it to I think what it is now is you can transfer once and have instant eligibility the next year, but if you transfer twice, you have to sit out that year. I
Yeah,
think
and
that's what the rule
there's
is.
kids that have transferred 3 or 4 times. No joke.
I mean, it's literally like free agency at the end for each individual player at the end of the year. You never know who's going to stay.
Yeah, and that's what NIL creates. And
Mm-hmm.
I've made this clear. I know it's unpopular, but I hate the NIL stuff. I wish I wish you didn't have to go to college like how it used to be. And if kids wanted to go make their money out of high school and they thought they were good enough, then just let them. You can do any other job when you're 18.
Yeah.
So why can't you play basketball when you're 18? That's what I don't understand at all.
I totally agree with you. I think if the
I
NIL
don't care if
needs,
it hurts us or not. I think as a whole, that would help everything.
yeah, I think if the NIL is going to stay, there has got to be a lot more regulation around it. I don't think anyone knows the rules. It kind of sounds like the
I
programs
don't.
don't even know the rules, and to there might not be any. I thought it was a super rush situation. It was like it really seemed like one day everyone was like, "No way, NIL will happen," and it was like next day, bam. Oh, by the way, college players can get paid as of 8 a.m. this morning. That's what it felt like to me. So I think there's just a lot of lack of regulation around it.
I completely agree. I speak. Last thing I'm gonna mention on college basketball. I think the NBA draft is happening right now, right, Morgan?
I think so. It probably just started not too long ago. Let me Google that.
We're on the
NBA
third pick.
draft live updates on the third pick. Nice. Who went number one?
Victor Wembanyama. You know who that is?
No idea. He must be like a overseas player.
Yeah, I think he's overseas big man.
7'4". Wow. That's insane. Averaging
Makes sense.
yeah. That's crazy. Brandon Miller was 2. That makes sense.
Scoot Henderson was third.
From the G League. There are a lot of players that are coming from overseas in G League that are starting to get drafted from in the top picks. Have you noticed that?
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
I have noticed that. Like it seems like 10 times more than it used to be.
oh, yeah, big time. I mean, it used to be only college players were the top 10 lottery picks. That's the only way you could go lottery. And G League was like, you got to work your butt off to get drafted. But now it's like overseas G League is top 5 almost every time.
Hey Josh, how you doing? Glad you're joining us. You are our first comment tonight. It's been a quiet one, Morgan.
It really has.
Like so quiet that I've kind of been checking and making sure that
The stream was actually going.
Yeah, we're going. But yeah, we're going. So, but hey, Josh, glad you're on here. We have the phone line open right now, so if you want to call and continue the streak, feel free. You've missed a lot of good stuff. We've talked a little bit about everything, Josh. We've talked about all the basketball news, Antonio Reeves coming back. We talked about stupid holidays and football and probations that are happening, and then now we're talking about how NBA drafts happening right now. And speaking of, I saw something crazy where 2 teams forfeited their pick. Yeah. So there's only going to be 58 picks.
Yeah.
Has that happened before? It's had to, right?
I'm assuming it's probably happened before. And it's because they were facing some form of suspension, I think. So I think they maybe foregoed their draft picks instead of some form of suspension. And it had to do with the Lonzo Ball trade between the Sixers and the Bulls.
Looks like Josh is calling in now. Is this Josh?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. Coleman's on vacation, so we got Morgan with us.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, I think that Coleman's playing hooky tonight.
Yeah, he's playing hooky. He left it all to me. He's playing hooky. He's making me do all the work.
Well, it's strange. Wonder why nobody's called in tonight. Where's Clyde and Marsha and our regulars? I wonder what's going on. That's weird.
Man, I don't know. I seriously thought like we were having more technical issues, but no, everything's good. The time I have it all set up and I tested everything and it's all working. The time that's really quiet.
They're watching that NBA draft.
Yeah,
Morgan says they're watching the NBA draft. I doubt that.
I've been out door dashing all day, so trying to make some money while I'm, still dealing with that vehicle accident involved back in April. So I'm in Little Painesville, Kentucky, made $135 today, so that's a good day for me.
That is a good day. I think that's a good day for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm probably, like I said, I didn't get to catch a lot of the show. I'll go back and watch it later on this evening after the show's over and watch the whole show and see what you guys talk about. But I am super, super relieved and excited that Reeves is back with all the bull crap that was going on. Is he going? Is he staying? Well, he's got his locker all situated. So I, for one, am very grateful that Antonio is coming back.
Yeah, I think BBN had a breath of relief with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That 3-point shooting.
Well, not only that, I mean, it gives us some kind of, if you want to say experience, just not all freshmen. And it was really, really good. And then, right before that news broke, I was listening to KSR, and we got a big 4-star running back commitment that decommitted from Georgia to come to Kentucky. Can't remember that he's got a weird last name, but the coaches are comparing him to Benny Snell. So,
oh wow!
I don't think this year. I think he'll be next year. But that was huge news. And then
so that's confirmed. We did pick him up.
Yes, we do have that kid that was going to commit to Georgia. He decommitted, and Michigan and Oklahoma or something like that was his other 2 schools, maybe. And even Matt Jones was like, "Wow, why'd you pick Kentucky?" And he's like, "Because Kentucky really showed me a good time, and they act like they act like here's family, and I just want to thrive with this program because it's improving each year." So the kid was really ecstatic, and I'm glad we got him.
Is it Tavani Mazel?
Yes, that's him.
Yeah, yep, we were talking about that earlier. I didn't realize he decommitted from Georgia.
Yeah, I must have been playing him down. He must be a bigger deal than I thought.
He did it live on the radio. So they thought, "So where have you decided to go?" And he said, "I I've decided to come to the University of Kentucky. He did
There
it
you
live
go.
on the radio.
That's awesome.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'll gladly take you. I think we're going to have a monster year. And I don't know, how long will we have Larry? Well, is he one and done playing football, or do we have him for a couple of years?
Who is that?
Leary, Devin Leary.
Oh,
I think this might be his only eligible year, but don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure this might be his only eligible one.
I mean, we do have Scudder Bowley coming in, so I mean that's good. He's a good quarterback. He's gonna be a good talent. So I mean the football program is looking good, and Reeves, in my opinion, Reeves saved the basketball program, and he might have saved John Calipari's job.
It's very possible.
That's possible.
I don't think that's too big. Yeah. I don't think that's too big of a hot take. It was looking gloom and doom until Antonio Reeves announced that he was coming back.
Yes, it was. I mean, because it was just every day. He's coming back. He's not going to come back. Oh, he's enrolled in Indiana State and this and that. And Tom Leach was talking about it on the Leach Report, because I listen to that every morning when I'm out door dashing. And then, Matt Jones and his crew was talking about it, and all these forums on Facebook. Is he going? Is he coming back? I mean, it was just just wearing us down. And I'm like, just either come back or tell us bye.
Yeah, and I even messaged Morgan yesterday. We were texting about that. I was like, still don't even know if I believe it. Whenever they said that he moved back in the dorm or whatever. So I'm really glad to have him back too. But Josh, thanks for calling in, and I hope you enjoyed the show when you listen back to it. I think it's been really fun. You'll hear some interesting things.
No, it is, man.
Morgan and I don't know if you knew this, but Morgan and I were roommates at UK, so we talked a little bit about that. So there's some funny stories there. But thanks for calling in as always. And
yeah, you guys always having a great show, and like I said before, you guys keep politics out of it. You do some funny stuff. You do holidays, and then you talk about sports, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Matt Jones needs to take an example from you guys about how to do a real show, because that dude, all he wants to talk about is how much he hates a certain former president. I'm going to say his name, but we all know who he's talking about. But thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. God bless you all, and have a good night. I can't wait to watch the show.
Thanks, Josh. You too.
All right, bye.
Well, Morgan, the streak is not in tonight.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous, but it looks like Josh mentioned Marsha, and now she's in the comments as well.
My crystal ball said Reeves was coming back. I bet he was in the gym for some pickup game and met the team. You lose your 8 buddies and good things. It has a way to change your mind. Is she saying that his buddies on the team pulled him back?
Yeah, probably. I think she's talking about the 8 other players that left. What was that?
Did he realize it wasn't all that bad?
Yeah. We used to play a few pickup games in that Johnson Center.
Oh man, we
basketball
did.
Court. That was always a good time.
Remember those rumors that the players on the team would end up going over there and just stomping on everyone? Like I heard that about the Harrison twins. That they went over there and just beat up on everyone, and Cal got mad. It's probably just a rumor, but it was something funny to think about. I would gladly play against them and have them just destroy me.
I would let them stomp all over me. I'd be picking my jaw off the ground just watching them play.
Yeah, I bet. Like I always thought about Severe Wheeler, like how fast he is. I can't imagine. Or even like Tyler Eulis back in the day. I cannot imagine. It's probably like a whole different level that we've never even seen before.
Yeah, they're like bullets flying down that court.
My only hope would be to throw up 40-footers before they could even guard me. That's all I would do. I've thought about that.
Yeah, you'd have to
pass
get
it.
on. You'd have to get on one end of the court, and I'd have to stay on the other. And as soon as I maybe got the ball, I'd just chuck it to you, and you'd have
Monkey
to
in the middle.
immediately throw it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. um yeah, this is gonna be the final call for calls here. 502-234-1504. We can probably start wrapping up, but we'll take another call or two if anyone wants to call and give us their thoughts. Yeah, I think that's about all my topics I've got written down, Morgan. Like, is there anything else that you can think of? Anything that's happened? Anything crazy that's going on in your life? Or
well, I guess speaking of the NBA draft, what about this scenario where Toppin and Sheboy could potentially come back?
That's right.
That's kind of wild. I totally forgot this was like a thing. I had never even I've never even seen like KSR talk about this. But, I kind of did a little digging in some articles, and it looks like they announced this rule back in 2018, but it maybe wouldn't get applied until 2021 or further. So I found an article from 2022, and it's saying if a player has gone undrafted, they have several avenues that they can pursue, right? They could go and do some summer league deals. They could have like a two-way contract between the G League and the NBA. They could go overseas, but they could apparently, if they go undrafted, announce that they want to return to college. And so they have to announce to the athletic director by Monday at 5 p.m. after the draft that they are going to return to college. So I guess there is a scenario if Toppin and Sheboy don't go draft, if they go undrafted, they could potentially come back to UK.
I really don't think they will, but that's something interesting to think about. The first thing I think of is Randolph Morris back in the day. Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit.
2000. It was like 2004, 2005. He declared for the draft and he didn't get drafted. He ended up coming back and he had to set out some games or something.
Really?
But I always thought that if you signed an agent, you had no choice.
That's what
sounding like with that rule you're talking about, maybe went into effect a year or two ago, and we kind of went under the radar.
Yeah, I saw one other, I forget. I think it was like college sports, some college sports Facebook page that I first saw it on. But I'm assuming that this rule is saying that even with an agent, if they go undrafted, they could come back. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure there's some technicalities that we don't know about. But according to some, there are rumors that are saying that there is scenarios where Sheboy or Toppin could return. And I read in this article that they can only announce for the draft twice. So if they did return, the next time they announce for the draft would be the last time that they could be eligible for it.
Can you imagine this team with Toppin and Oscar back?
It would be a 180 from where we are right now. I mean, that would be great, but I guess we'll see.
Got that Cyril kid too on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would really be amazing.
It would be the depth of 2015, probably.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. You have that new talent like you did in 2015, but you still got a couple of vets that are just powerhouses. And Sheboy, honestly, might be my favorite player of all time. So if that is an option of him coming back, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I hate it when people crap on Sheboy saying they don't want him back. Like, I'm just always like, you don't want the guy back that gets 50 rebounds a game.
Right.
And if we miss 53s a game, he's going to get half of those rebounds.
Yeah.
Which we will miss 53s a game. But yeah, so I guess we can wrap it up there. I'm going to go through the spill here. Follow the show on Twitter, @Talkin_Kentucky. like Talking Kentucky on Facebook, where we discuss. We have 1.3K followers now, so that's our main platform. But we're starting to get on the others as well a little more. We got YouTube, Talking Kentucky, and then you can become a supporter and get your coffee mug and your sticker and everything by going to talkingkentucky.wordpress.com/support. Usually Coleman's the one saying this, and I'm the one looking it up online and putting the website URL in there. But yeah, that's what it is. So if you want to support us on Patreon and get we prefer you do that, so you get something out of it instead of just giving us money on Spotify or whatever. So, but thank you all for listening to us. Morgan, thank you for joining the show. And
absolutely,
I think it was a good show. I think we got to a bunch of good stuff. We had it was entertaining. It was nice catching up with you, and we got to hang out sometime soon. I need to come up to Northern Kentucky. You need to come down here. Maybe we can just meet in Lexington in the middle. Do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about
again,
that anyways. Right? So I might as well do it on the show. Do what?
You're living in Hanson again, right?
Yep. I'm back in Hanson. Back in Hanson for the meantime. I'm kind of in the I don't know where I want to live in the long term yet, but chilling here for the meantime. But we need to meet up at some point. But
yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I just thought of? We didn't come up with a name for the show yet.
This one?
Yeah.
You could say something like Our Savior Reeves.
Almighty Reeves.
The Almighty Reeves.
Talking Almighty Reeves.
Reeves Almighty.
I actually like that. What else we talk about? We talked about National Kissing Day.
Yeah, kissing Reeves.
Kissing. If I send that to Coleman, because he posts all of it, I'm gonna say we talked about kissing today. He's gonna be like, kissing Reeves. Yeah, I'm down with Reeves Almighty.
Yeah,
I think that takes the cake. I don't think I can come up with anything that beats that. So let's go with talking Reeves Almighty. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. And as always, go Cats, and we'll see you next time.
Go Cats.